Hey everybody, welcome back to Capes Cast podcast. I'm Jeremy,
I'm Ryan.
and today we are going to be covering the most absolute book at DC ever, Absolute Power.
Absolutely. Um,
You're going to hear that word a lot this episode.
yeah. Hey, that's a dope little
Absolute.
variant you got right there. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's hella cool, bro. I so whenever they announced when it was in solicitations, a few months back, I saw this one. I didn't realize at first that it was like going to be a connecting variant.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's all of the what is it? John Timms, I think is the artist name.
Okay, yeah. He's the one
Yeah,
that
John
did
Timms.
he's the one that did action with Jason Aaron recently.
Yes,
Yeah.
is right. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I'm a sucker for these kinds of covers, bro.
Are
Like
you gonna be
just like
getting
it's
the
like
rest of them to connect to him or what?
no,
Oh, okay.
no. This is the only one I thought was cool. Like, and that's what I was going with that is like when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's a hella cool cover. And I thought this was gonna be the foil one.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that would be a great foil to have. And then I like looked and all like Task Force One has a connecting cover. Like I think all four main issues, all of Task Force Seven, and I think maybe the first issue of the Waller book.
Oh, okay.
Or regardless, there's like 12 in total. Yeah, there's 12 that connect, and it was like right here on the back.
Oh, damn, that's pretty cool.
So it's like a huge thing. But I don't know. I don't know. I like I like these designs. I think they're cool.
Yeah. I
So
got
I just
I
had to
love
get them.
this wraparound, man. Dan Mora wraparound. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, this is awesome. Like,
I almost got it twice just to get the main cover.
yeah,
But
man.
I don't know. I was already on the fence about this, like even going into it. And it's no like secret. I, dude, like straight up, I'm Amanda Waller hater. We all know
Yeah,
this.
for sure.
Like I hate her as much as Kendrick hates Drake.
Yeah,
Let's put it that way.
yeah.
Uh, and it's not her fault. She's just a fake character. I'm just a hater.
Right, but let's be real. Ostrander's Waller compared
Yeah, like yeah,
Tony
like and
is,
we had this conversation a few days ago. Like when she was the wall, I felt like she was cool. But
yeah,
now, and I've said this a couple times, I'm like, she's just the pile.
yeah.
She's the
And they're
pile
trying
now.
to bring back the whole wall thing
Yeah,
now.
and it doesn't work in the current iteration of the character because it's just like she's not that anymore.
Right.
Like we can call her like the prison.
Yeah,
That's basically what she's doing.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, let's talk about absolute power. I see. Actually, I forgot. I don't even need to buy the damn Mora cover.
Oh, that's dope. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot to do that. That's pretty
Two for
dope.
one, baby.
Does it still have the
Uh,
wraparound on the back too?
yes.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Forgot about that.
Yeah,
Uh,
DC doing that.
man, the one time paying an extra dollar for these books pays off.
Yeah.
Um, what was I gonna say now? Oh, like the lead up to all this, right? Um, I I think when the creative team got announced, I was really excited. Even though I wasn't excited about how everything else was going down at DC, I was like, well, I'm like, at least the creative team is good or
Right.
great rather. So like there is the saving grace there. I was not expecting to actually enjoy this as much as I did.
I know. I
Like,
know.
I mean, granted, having Dan Mora on art really just elevates anything. Like the dude could draw like, a can of SpaghettiOs,
Right.
and I'd be more interested in that than any other can on the shelf.
Right. I
But
agree, dude. It's gorgeous, gorgeous looking book.
it's
It's
crazy, dude. Like I and like it's been really I feel like Dan Mora is he's like a one of a kind like generational talent.
yeah,
Like I don't think there's ever gonna be another artist like him.
no,
So it's really cool to have seen him evolve from like basically 10 years ago.
right.
Or I mean even earlier than that because he did I want to say it was like 2012 maybe before he did Klaus with Morrison.
Uh-huh.
It's called Hexed, and he does
Okay.
like there's like a 4-issue miniseries, and it's like it's somebody else that does art, but then he does the rest of the book after that, like the whole rest of the series. And over the course of that series, and with Klaus, and I think I want to say Hex started first, but he was working on both at the same time at one
Okay.
point, and you really see his art evolve. Like as Hex goes on, it goes from like early Dan Mora, like in the beginning of Klaus, like when you see it's kind of like a little bit rougher. And you read that, right?
No.
You
Oh,
haven't.
Klaus? Yeah, I
Yeah,
read
yeah.
Klaus. Yeah.
Like like in the beginning and those like first few issues, like it's kind of like sketchy, kind of rough, but it still looks like him.
Yeah.
So that's how Hex starts out too. Like I want to say they probably did release like concurrently. So it's really cool to see his like him evolve as an artist from then, like up until the end of those books, or even as like the one shots for Klaus kept coming out. His
Right.
art just got better and better. And then we got Once in Future in 2018.
Yeah.
And even then, dude, from the beginning of that to the end of Once in Future, huge like improvements.
Right.
So like to see him like literally like basically like come into his own, like that it's been
And
really
DC
cool,
has been
bro.
doing like variants and covers for everything. Everything, right?
Right.
So
Right. So like I don't it's just like and then like we can even just break it down even further like with his colorists, like up until recently it's mainly been Tamara Bonvillain, like she even like she did the colors on Once in Future, she did the colors on
World's Finest.
World's Finest. I think she might have even done some of his other colors too.
Hmm. I think
Um
she mainly does the colors for a lot of his like covers. I think she does a lot.
right. Right. Uh and then we of course we had Alejandro Sanchez who has done covers with him recently, him and Mora, but they also did Shazam together.
Right.
Um
But
but
for
even
some
him,
reason, it feels elevated in this for some reason. It
I was gonna say
really,
like whatever he was holding back in Shazam, he was not in this, dude.
because I almost feel like he was doing kind of like he kind of saw what Tamara Bondvillain was doing. It's kind of doing that. It was kind of like lighter colors. It
Yeah,
was
but this is like has like I don't even know. I couldn't even describe to you how it's different
right.
other than like you just have to look at it.
It is. Yeah.
Because like okay, like even I was really excited about seeing these two first off.
Yeah, dude.
But
Seeing
like
Morris
it's just like
Animal Man was awesome. Yeah.
even the like even just like the reflection like or like the shading on his suit,
Yeah.
like it just looks way crazier than
It
anything he did
does.
in Shazam.
It looks so like modern, like so
Okay.
like
I feel like the way I can describe it is every single panel in this book feels like it had the same amount of attention one of his covers has.
right. Yeah.
Like every single panel. There's not a single panel in this issue I feel like that does not have that quality.
Yeah, he really focused on the lighting in this. Like every panel has this like either lighting or darkness to it. That's
Yeah.
really sets the like mood for that panel.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just so good. But yeah, let's talk about the story a little bit first.
Yeah, man.
So basically like this is kind of
This is a lead up from pretty much everything from the past like 3 years.
yeah,
Oh, man.
since like Dawn of DC started.
Yeah,
Oh hell,
I would
maybe
say before that.
even
Like
before that.
this
Yeah.
is like from Infinite Frontier to
Yeah. No,
Blue
yeah, I
Garnet.
would say yeah, Infinite Frontiers probably would be it.
Yeah,
Um so yeah, like you've had all these developments happen with Waller and Brainiac and Failsafe.
yeah,
Basically any plot line that was handled by any of the top talents at DC over the last couple years has some kind of involvement in this event.
right.
So like, Adams and Johnson with Green Lantern
And the
and
United
the
Planets.
planets, and then you have what Williamson is doing and has been doing in Superman with House of Brainiac and the Brainiac Queen, and then you have all of the like everything else, like the main event stuff that's been going on in DC, like with
Yeah,
Lazarus Planet and Night Terrors, Beast World, and like basically Waller coming to the conclusion that heroes are just not it anymore and they need to be done away with. And
right.
she and
because she saw on another Earth or something like that.
yeah, and this is my other complaint is like it's almost like it doesn't even feel earned. Like,
No.
am I wrong in feeling that way? Because I remember reading an issue and being like, the president's like, "Okay, I guess you could do this," and I'm like, "What the hell?" Like,
Yeah.
okay, like, did you are you just gonna bend over and like take it now or what? Because
Yeah,
like,
well, Waller's been pretty inconsistent depending on who's writing it because Beast World, she was completely different to now. Like right now, she's like, no, I wouldn't kill any humans. Why would I? But in Beast World, she was like, let's kill every
yeah,
person
she was
who
willing
turned
to
him.
nuke anybody that had turned into a beast.
Right, which was pretty much most of the population on Earth. So she was willing to. So it's like square that.
Right. Like, and here's what I don't realize is like, did the Titans not like hijack a government computer? Why couldn't you just put something out there and be like, hey, Amanda Waller was willing to kill any one of you that
Right.
turned into an animal, and we said no, and we saved you. And now it's just like like some videos come out. That
Yeah.
okay, so that's like where the story is headed.
Yeah.
Um, basically, like
Oh,
in our
and basically there's Failsafe, which was in Batman,
yeah,
basically, and then Failsafe, it shows in Batman, it shows him like working on like all the Amazos. Like
in 150.
I want to say 149. It shows him, it
Not
shows like a
really.
bunch of Amazos like laid out on stretchers and he's
Uh,
got them all hooked up. I imagine he was just kind of working on them and Brainiac Queen kind of linked them
yeah.
or something like
Yeah,
that. But
yeah, and obviously whatever tech him and Waller have been working on to allow them to absorb powers and all that
in the
jazz.
end, what I get out of this is DC. I feel like they're kind of this might have been before all the drama happened, but I feel like this is kind of like them talking about AI
Oh
after.
no, 100% it is.
Well, I mean, especially after the whole Andrea Sorrentino thing, because remember we heard about that, and then it was just
And
completely mum. It's
and
been
Matina.
yeah,
And Matina now too.
right. So I feel like this is kind of them without talking about it, because we haven't really seen anything from Andrea Sorrentino since or Matina
Right.
since
Well,
that all broke out.
yeah. Well, like, and here's what I find interesting about them taking this like AI fake news kind of like deep fake approach to all this is I was not expecting it, you know?
Yeah,
Like, and we kept wondering how Wade was going to be able to tie it all together and make this work because to our understanding, it went through multiple hands before
right,
it went to Wade, and it kind of just it people just added bits and pieces. There wasn't really much taken away, right?
right,
And then when Wade got it, it was kind of just he shook it up in a way that everything kind of fell out the way that it will, or in a way that DC was happy with.
right,
Um, but I was not expecting like the AI approach, especially considering neither of the big companies have made a stance or like a certain like statement on AI art.
yeah,
So it was interesting to see them take that as like and that very well could have just been Wade being like, "Hey, I'm gonna relate this to current social climate around comics and
right,
around art as a whole, and like we'll see what happens," and they might have been they are clearly on board with it. But
right,
yeah, really, really cool, like out of left field, like basically opener for
right.
this.
And I mean, it was really on the nose. I don't know if you read like the last Green Arrow issue where basically they talk about it and he tells Waller like, AI can't do what I do. It can only manipulate, it can
Yeah,
only copy. It can only, but it can't do what we do,
right.
So I feel like that was just like a firm stance right there. Like this is what this is about. This is going to
Right,
be
and
a
and
social
and I
comment.
have a feeling that's also gonna be, like, a pretty big factor in how the heroes will win in the end,
Right,
is it's gonna come down to just while these Amazos have their powers, they do not have the creative ability or critical thinking ability that a human being might.
right,
Therefore, human beings or like, more sentient organic life is gonna think of clever and more unique ways to use their abilities that the Amazos would not think of.
exactly.
And Wade's the perfect first person for that because we just had an Amazo arc in World's Finest that showed that off.
Right.
Like, like you had all of these, you had Superman, you had Batman, you had some of these heroes that were depowered to make robots, like, and it still came out in the end that they won. And it was an
Right.
AI versus human war. So like,
I find it funny. It would be Mark Wade. Like if Scott Snyder couldn't do it, they said it was Scott Snyder, Tom Taylor, and I think they even asked Jason Aaron, and those three could not
oh,
figure out
was it?
how
Because
to
I
put the
I, th-
pieces.
I thought it was Williamson,
Oh yeah, Williamson.
Snyder,
That's right.
and then one of the Toms. It might have been Tom. It probably
I
was
think
Tom
it
Taylor.
was Tom
I
Taylor.
wonder
I
if it
believe.
was
Yeah.
him or King, but it didn't. Did it pass through Zdarsky at all?
It's Zdarsky too. Yeah, says
Okay,
Zdarsky too. You know,
and then eventually they landed on Wade because let the master do it, I guess.
I can only imagine he was able to just. I feel like he just knows how to sequence a comic book perfectly. So he's like, let me take
I
this.
mean,
Like,
dude's been in the
Wade
game
is
for a long time,
yeah,
right? And here's the other thing too is like if you use like AI as like the way that they did it here, you almost don't need to read the other stuff before
right,
because it's just like here's like the cold opening of why, like why the heroes are on the outs and why they're losing their powers. Like you don't need to know that Brainiac Queen was from space, or you don't need to read that whole 6 issue crossover. You
right,
don't need to read all of Batman, like because he was brought back in an issue just before this.
right.
So like it's nice that if you have read all of that stuff or some of that stuff for the last few years, there's payoff. But also it's nice to have an event that you almost don't need it and you can just go in blind and just it can be a good DC event.
Yeah, yep,
Uh, but yeah, man, a lot of these, if it just is really a lot of it is just kind of like setting the pieces, on the board, kind of like
pretty much.
eliminating some of the heroes, stripping their powers away, making the play like, the public not feeling safe around them.
Right.
Um, let's see. Yeah, a lot of it's just stuff that's been going on around the world, and then the superheroes trying to get ahead of it, you know,
Yeah.
trying to find out where who's posting the footage, how to get it like taken down, how to do all this stuff. But and I think the thing that sticks out the most is probably Superman
Right.
because in the free comic book day and in every single
Yeah, we've
issue
been
of
seeing that
DC for the
freaking
last month
yeah,
practically was the 3 pages where he gets shot.
right.
Um, and that happens at the beginning of this issue, and it happens, throughout. And John and Connor find him, and they're trying to save him. But all while they're trying to save him, everybody's getting depowered around the world. You have the JSA being depowered. You've got the Justice League Dark. Wonder Woman, the Shazamly, the
Right.
Aquaman family, Doom Patrol. Like literally, like quite literally everybody.
Yep. And they pretty much just show it like they just pretty much like aim at them and they could just
Yeah.
point and click.
And this is probably one of the coolest
That
pages
is
I've seen in a long
incredible.
time.
Yeah,
So good.
it is. And if I were if I didn't really know this, didn't really catch this until after, but in Batman 150 it says that Flash is the only one that still has superpowers.
Wally or Barry?
I believe it's Barry because I think Wally in this one loses it, right?
I don't know actually.
But yeah, one of the Flashes still has the Speed Force in.
Maybe it is. It's hard to tell because you can see Jay, you can see. Actually, I can't really tell who that is in the background. Max, Bart, Irie, and then like a Flash. You can't see the face, so you can't see if it's the Wally or Barry.
Yeah, we'll keep going with the story. I'm gonna pull it out and I'll tell you.
Yeah. And then I think, oh, the craziest thing about this whole issue though was how in the hell did they separate the Spectre
Oh,
from
I know.
Jim Corrigan? That was a trip, dude.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of
I feel
wild.
like Mark Wade just can't help himself. He's like, if I'm doing an event, I have to have Spectre in it. I'm
Yeah.
doing Spectre.
But it
Like,
was like I was not expecting that to be like to that to happen, I was like, oh,
Right.
because he straight up sent him out. He's like, I'm ready. He's like, Spectre. And he's like, Spectre, where are you?
So let's see.
Oh, yeah. And then like this is what I was talking about with Sanchez's colors, dude. It's like they
Yeah.
just shine. Like all
It's
of the
like the
metal just looks
shine and the
like even the
reflection.
Dr. Fate helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything just looks shiny. Like
It's
it looks like
really
I'm
cool.
like if I aim it right, I'll blind myself.
So in this, it's Barry.
Oh, Barry still has powers?
Barry's the only one he says that still has
Which
his
makes sense
power.
because issue 13 for Flash is about Barry. And so if nobody else has powers, then it makes sense that he's the only one.
Well, cool. Give Barry some damn shine. They always,
Hope he dies.
yeah. Give him some damn shine for an event.
I hope he dies.
Yeah.
Hey man, Barry's up there too. He should have stayed dead.
Yeah. I agree.
Right.
I agree.
You know what? That's what this final issue of this event needs to be. I need to have Barry versus a Speed Force powered Waller racing across the planet, and then at the end, they just punch each other so hard they both fall over. It's perfect, dude. It's like a dream for me.
I wouldn't mind it if he just becomes like one with the Speed Force again, and whenever they need to trap somebody in the Speed Force, Barry just kind of pops out to grab him, like they did with like.
Oh, dude, like it could be like spooky.
Yeah,
He's just like a spooky guy.
yeah,
I like that.
that'd be dope.
Yeah, man. Like, but okay, that's a slippery slope for a lot of those characters, though.
Yeah,
What are you gonna Phantom Zone every rogue you come across? Like, boom, yeah, get in there.
yeah. Because
Like
I mean, that's
Barry.
what they did. That's the first time we saw him in Infinite Crisis since he
Yeah,
died. You
yeah,
know,
right.
where he
I
grabs Superboy Prime to put him in the
yeah,
Speed Force. So it's like,
good times, dude.
yeah,
Back when Barry wasn't alive.
yeah. Put him back in the Speed Force. Just make him the
I
Speed
just
Force again.
that I could do a whole episode on why
Yeah,
Barry should stay dead.
I agree.
I'd need 2 episodes actually.
Yeah,
Uh, but okay. So yeah, a lot of it is just set up. You know,
yeah,
these heroes are all like trying to fight back. The Amazos get unleashed, and they're just losing their powers across the globe. Like they're starting to realize that basically Waller thinks she's already won this fight. You know.
right.
And so at this point, it's just like they're not playing the same game, you know. Like they're
And pretty much she knows she is because if you read that Suicide Squad Dream Team with Dreamer in it, she's pretty much manipulating things in that so that when Dreamer looks into the future, basically, she could see that like Waller can confirm that what's going to happen is going to happen. More or less.
right. So
That's basically all that series was.
right, and yeah, and it's right. It it doesn't really help the fact that Waller has basically like kind of like an alliance with a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like she has an alliance with the United Planets with Theros
With the
and
Sovereign,
with the Sovereign. Yeah, exactly. Like literally, quite literally everybody.
yeah,
You know, she had an alliance with Brainiac, who was the light, turned out to be the light. She had, you know, she has a partnership with Failsafe. Like anybody that's been a pain in the ass in the DC universe, she's the biggest pain in the ass of them
yeah,
all. So like, it's no surprise to think like for us to see like to believe that she's won,
right,
but we know that's not going to happen
right.
because you know. But I also don't think that we're gonna make it out of this event without any like casualties.
For sure. And we know a universe is coming out of this. So,
Yeah. Okay. And that's the other thing too, is like how connected is this gonna be to the absolute line? You know, like we don't know. I'm interested to find out.
yeah, something's got to happen. But
I okay. This is like the biggest. While overwhelmingly I like this issue. Like it's really, really, really good.
yeah,
What I don't, apart from Waller, the only other thing I don't like is they are really, really selling this Oliver is working with Waller angle.
right. We know that.
And and even at the end of the last issue of Green Arrow, I was like, okay, like he's on her side, but I could see him turn face and come back and it be okay. And then there was Flash, and I was like, okay, like maybe he could still come back from this. I don't know, man. Like
And now he's
at
like, I'm on the right side of history. And
yeah, like at like this time around, let's say he does, double agent back to being with the Justice League and he's a hero at the end of things.
right.
Who in the hell is going to trust him? Who in their right mind is going to trust him after this?
That's why I think in the end he's going to be the one that undoes everything. He's going to be in a place where where Amanda Waller's compromised because she trusts him so much, and I think he's going to be the one to.
Right. I mean,
I think it's going to be him and Brainiac Queen. I think Brainiac
and
Queen's going to realize how manipulated she's been, and I think
I just I and even if that is the case, and even if Ollie is the reason Waller loses, you've fucked yourself like
yeah,
royally, dog. Like you have zero friends now in the superhero community.
yeah. Well, it wouldn't surprise me if basically if they do come back together as a Justice League. It wouldn't surprise me if they're like, Ollie, we don't know, bro. Like, I don't know about
I,
you.
I, I am really interested to see how his dynamic with his family is going to change after
Oh yeah.
this.
Because he
Because like
finally gets to be with his family again. We never
and then
get
he
that.
then
And
he
then
screwed it
now
up.
it yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
And now
but
with Connor in his series being like, I'm the new Green Arrow. If he doesn't want to be Green Arrow, I'm Green Arrow now.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, his monologue though, some smoke, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like incorrect bats. I'm on the right side of history, pal. I'm sorry, I really am, but I've been warning you all along. Warning all you super folks for a long time that us humans don't appreciate being looked down upon. And you wouldn't listen to me. Sure, you're great at capping volcanoes, but fixing society's real problems, actually empowering the powerless, affecting actual change, you get an F for effort. And he says, Arrow, you're talking nonsense. You're one of us. Not anymore. I'm on Team Waller now. We're coming for you. There's nowhere to run, pals. You're done. Waller brokered a deal with the United Planets. No one leaves Earth. No space cavalry is coming to the rescue. We've barricaded the multiverse. We've
Yep.
sealed away the time stream and the microverse. Waller knows your secrets. There's no escapes, no exits, no hope. Still, I know you guys, you're thinking we fought Amazos before. If we can figure out how to destroy them, our powers will be restored and we can win. Sorry, those are the old rules. This
Right.
is a new design, new technology. What's taken is irretrievable. There is no return mechanism. Your powers are never coming back.
Right.
Cold, bro.
Yeah. And
It's icy.
I'm wondering like what are they doing with John too?
I
Like
was just gonna I was gonna say that. I, I'm nervous, bro. I feel bad for this guy.
because he's like he doesn't know who he is, and it seems like I don't know. Are they like manipulating his electric blue powers? Are they trying? I don't understand, but
Yeah, I'm not sure what the okay. Uh I feel like I remember reading something about this. Let me see if I can find it.
yeah, I don't know.
Where's that? I just need to find the discussion thread for absolute power. That's all I need. Because there was a comment on Reddit, and it kind of filled me in on what the deal with John might be. Here we go. Come on, where the hell? Dude, I'm not seeing this anywhere anymore. but it like basically something that happened to John previously connects back to this. But for the life of me, I haven't been following John's stuff really
Yeah.
at all.
Well, he
So
doesn't have a series anymore. So
right.
he's, you know, but just to fill you in, because there's a little bit here that advances the story in Batman 150 for Absolute Power. It shows Batman with Mike Hawthorne art. Uh, Shows Batman going to Titan's Tower. When he goes there, he sees that Cyborg is hooked up to a bunch of machines. He's trying to hack into
Right.
Waller. Come to find out that he cannot because her whole network is protected by a mother box. She has a mother box.
Oh shoot.
Yes. So, and then basically sends an Amazo, the Wonder Woman, Amazonian Amazo, to crash in through to the Titan's Tower, and more or less, both of them get their ass kicked, more or less. What the Amazo takes Cyborg and leaves, basically, and more or less that's where Barry shows up. And
Hmm.
it says Flash with communications down. He's acting like a relay for all the heroes still free. So Barry's the one going around being the communicator with everybody.
That's cool.
Yeah. So basically, if Batman has a message for Diana, he's
He just
going.
zips on over and sends
Yeah,
it. It says, "Hey, this is what Bruce said. Zip,
pretty
zip."
much.
That's cool.
He's the relay,
He's
and
their messenger boy. Yeah.
it says staying one step ahead of Waller's army, constantly moving. One of the only heroes who still has their powers. Um, and
See,
then
okay. And I think this is a really good example of why the Amazels will never be able to match up to the heroes.
right,
Because you're gonna really tell me that Amazo Superman is gonna tell Amazo Flash, or Fellowship's gonna tell Amazo Flash, hey, you should be the fastest walkie-talkie in the history of ever, so we can stay one step ahead of the enemy.
right.
Because like, sorry, what's faster than the Flash? You know what I mean? Like, so that's a really clever use for him too, because otherwise he's just, what is he doing? He's jobbing. Otherwise,
Right. Right. And so Flash goes immediately to the Fortress of Solitude where Mr. Terrific's like helping out Superman.
Mhm.
And basically Barry says, they have a mother box. Basically Superman's like, we need to find it. Even apart from depriving Waller, it may be our only way off planet or to save or help our people. And then Batman says, I'll get it. And he says, and then basically Superman says, do you have a plan? And he says, working on it. This is going to be an incredibly dangerous heist. So I'm going to have to recruit a thief. So we're going to get a Catwoman, Bruce, team up to go and steal a mother box from Waller.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is like crucial information. Like this advancing the absolute power story. And it's
Which
not,
like which okay, like, and I'm almost willing to give it a pass because it is in the main Batman book, which we knew was tying into it already.
yeah,
Which is almost like, it would be almost like finding that out in like a 3-issue tie-in series, Absolute Power, Batman and Catwoman or some shit, you know what I mean?
right.
Um, but yeah, this John being infected with Brainiac tech, most interesting thing they've done with him
Yeah,
since he was a Super Son.
yeah, I agree.
Because aging him up didn't really do much for me. All the stuff that's been going on with him has just been kind of there. I haven't really had much investment in it at all.
Yeah,
He had a cool couple of moments in Dark Crisis. He had a cool couple moments in Beast World, but when he was still around or whatever. But it was this is the most interesting thing I think has happened to him. I want to see where this goes. That
yeah,
is really
me too.
but yeah, we're about out of time. If anybody has been on the fence about Absolute Power, check it out. At least give the first issue a shot. Really, really good. Mark Waid's a legend.
Yep.
And Dan Mora is already a legend and will be forever, forever
And
and
they're
ever.
probably the best team on DC right now working
Oh,
together.
hands down, dude.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Later on, guys.